So the big question is this: how are retail traders like us, who don't have access to big capital and cutting-edge technology, competing against big banks and institutions, putting money from our own pockets, come up with trading methods that beat the market and consistently grow their trading accounts and make a living out of it? So this is the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. Hello and welcome to my Sunday podcast. So today I'm going to talk about something that has been bothering me for a while. I have talked about it in some of my videos from time to time, but this is something that everyone asks about. They are confused about it, but the reality is we shouldn't be confused about this the way we are confused about it, because it's very simple. So the question is, why are people getting confused when it is very simple? That is because it's got two faces. It's like a coin. So it's the same thing, but you can look at either side of it. So the face that we see is the common one, which everyone comes across. And the problem is that we have to switch our brain, the way we think about it, and only then we will be able to flip this coin and see the other side of it. And that is if this certain... So there are patterns in the market that we trade, and we trade those patterns based on the belief that it will make us money. But what I've noticed is that everyone generalizes the idea and they take the decision based on emotions. So they take an emotional decision but fail to look at the logic of it. Now, it's a great thing to have a pattern, but the ability for you to have the motivation to trade the pattern, you have to logically understand it as well. And the reason for that is that while the emotional reason for trading that pattern is to actually get the emotional benefits from it, which is, I want to trade this pattern because over the period of time it's gonna make me money. The logical reason is that this pattern has a statistical advantage, which means that if you trade it 100 times, then there is a higher probability that you will win more. The sum total of all your winning trades will be more than the sum total of all the losing trades. It does not mean that all 100 trades are going to be winners. It states that based on testing last 30 years of data and thousands of patterns identified, we have a certain advantage, and to simplify it, we have a 66% win rate, where 33% is a loss rate. So in any 100 trades, and if you trade 1%, you will lose 33% of your account. But 66% of the time you will win. Out of the 66%, about 40% of the time you will win when you will have profit of 2%. So that's 80%, and the rest of them you will not lose money, but you won't make much money as well. So you will make 80% or 60% at the lowest from your winning trades, and you will lose 30 to 35% from your losing trades. So if you have the highest amount of losing trades in that 100 trades batch and the lowest, then you will probably make 15 to 20%. But if you had the best month where you will have the losing side is the lowest, let's say you had 30% of losing trade, that 30%, 30 points loss, and if you had the best, obviously if it's 30 and you had the best side, yeah, let's say 40% of the trades were winners, you would have made 80%. So 80 minus 30, that would be 50%. So your wins per every 100 trades and most probably every 20 trades, it's going to be something like this. So let's suppose you traded 1,000 trades, and then you went on and checked every 100 trades. You will find that some of the 100 trades batch will have 40, 35% winners, and others will have 40, 45%. So it's all different. So when I say 66%, it's the average of all of that. Sometimes you would even have 70% win rate, or sometimes it would drop to about 60% win rate. And that doesn't invalidate this. So if you don't try to understand this and only go on the emotional side, what happens is that when you go through the thing that we call a losing streak, then it becomes a problem. You have bad emotions involved to it, and you have to then take a decision based on your emotions. That's where you need your logical side to kick in to say, look, we understand the losing streak. And for those of you who don't understand a losing streak, it's that for every given set of events, let's say 100 or 1,000 events, there is a probability of a streak of winners and a streak of losers. And it's not that hard to find out. If you know the win rate of a system, you can actually find out what is the probability of a 5, 6, 7, or 10 losing trades streak. So based on our analysis, there is quite a high probability of having 3 winners or three losers. And lower probability of having 5 or 6 winners or losers in a row. And as the number goes up, the probability decreases. So is it possible to have 10 losers in a row? Yes, it is possible. How often? The probability of that is quite lower than 20%, but that doesn't mean it won't happen. It can happen. And so what do? And the reason for that is you do your risk management correctly. So you're saying, okay, can I take? You have to prepare for this. So if it's a possibility, then you have to have something in your trade plan. So that means that if you lose 10 trades in a row, and if you risk 1% on every trade, you'll be down 10%. But imagine this: you just had one batch where you increase your account by 50%, and then the next batch you had 10 losing trades. Now you're down to 40%, but if you look at the overall thing, you're still up by 40%, so it doesn't really hurt you that much. It only hurts when, by chance, when you start trading, and there is a higher probability of this happening in the beginning, is because you probably would lose discipline because of your emotional state, because you are not used to trading much. So the more emotional you are, the more prone to mistakes you are. So there are two things. So the probability of you losing discipline and having a losing streak, that's a different thing. It's a separate thing to the valid streak of the system. So the system can have its own streak without you losing discipline. And this is the important thing that we talk about in our T20 challenge. So more on this later. And now I wish you all have a great rest of the Sunday. Our Sunday is gone, and we are ready for probably the final week of trading this year. See you later.